And the geek shall inherit the podcast. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Scoop Dog, and let's talk unnecessary name changes to DC movies or shows. Now, some of these changes had no effect. Some were for the better, some made sense, and others were just downright stupid. Let's break them down, starting with definitely for kids coming out, a new Batman animated series that was previously entitled Bat Family. And now they changed the name of it to, guess what? Bat Fam. Ooh, major change. Note the sarcasm in my voice, please. The name shortening from family to fam, I don't know. Does that sound more hip? Is that like an algorithm telling them that it's hipper to say fam than to say family? This is a Prime Video show, and we know that the last Batman animated show that was sold to Prime was The Caped Crusader, which didn't sit that well with fans either, which is surprising because it was Matt Reeves and J.J. Abrams attached to that, and I thought that we were going to get something a lot better than what they delivered, especially since it was a continuation of the classic Batman the Animated Series. Like, how do you botch that? And especially if you look at how perfectly X-Men 97 was executed. I digress. Then we have Pennyworth. Before the standalone series about Bruce Wayne, aka Batman's butler, before they changed the name was previously just Pennyworth, but the executives thought that, hey, people may not know who we're talking about here if we just call it Pennyworth. So let's really insult people's intelligence and call it Pennyworth, the origins of Batman's butler. Like, can you spell it out anymore? That's insulting. Like, if you don't know who Pennyworth is and you're just watching the show because it looks like a cool period piece / spy movie, like a la, James Bond in the 1970s or 60s, whenever this took place, you will eventually connect the dots with the storytelling that this guy is connected to Batman. And even if you don't, it should be a good enough show that you don't need that, even though you're kind of hoping that that's what the main selling point is, that you're doing a backstory on Pennyworth. But you did not need to add the origin of Batman's butler who lived in Wayne Manor, and you know what I mean? Like, come on, guys. Now, with that, I have to go to what I think is the worst name change, not just in DC movie history. I think this might be the worst name change in movie history, period. Now, shortly after the bombing / success of Suicide Squad, I say bombing because the movie sucked, but everyone loved Harley Quinn's performance, they decided to capitalize on that by coming out with Birds of Prey, which was a movie centered around the female villains of Gotham and Harley Quinn being one of them. Birds of Prey, good poster, that's all you needed. You did not need to change it. So then they went ahead, they took it a step further and said, well, we want to market Harley Quinn the most, so let's change it to Harley Quinn Birds of Prey. But then that wasn't good enough. Oh no, that wasn't good enough. They changed the title to, you ready for this? Let me take a deep breath. Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. What the hell is that title? That sounds like the name of a YA book. Harley Quinn Birds of Prey would have been fine. Whoever dropped this mouthful, they should have been fired for this. I make that the worst DC name change in history. Right? Then you have the ones that had no effect on the movie, which was Superman Legacy, then changed simply to Superman, made no change to the movie, had no effect on it. The movie, in my opinion, was still great. I enjoyed it, really fun. And then people were wondering why recently Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which we know is going to be heavily connected to the comic Woman of Tomorrow, Why did they drop the name? It made that just Supergirl. Well, I think it's because now that we know that Man of Tomorrow is official, you didn't want to go the Man of Tomorrow, Woman of Tomorrow, so you had to pick one or the other, and they went with Man of Tomorrow. So plus that comic connects everyone, so I think that's why they decided to drop it with Supergirl and keep it with Superman. So that to me is a title change that makes sense, right? For strategic purposes. And yeah, that's it. Those were the name changes that I can find and come up with that I think were really unnecessary, necessary, and made no difference. What do you guys think of those titles? Do you know any other movies that had their title changed from something good to something really bad? Drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Peace.